Hello and welcome back to Leeds United, where we've got, as promised, Manchester United and Gent today. The main issue, though, is the fact that we played Gent at 8 PM on Thursday, and we're playing Manchester United at 12:30 on Saturday. Genuinely, what? Manchester United only had 1 day's extra grace, but the weird part is, it's not like they've got anything the following week either. They went away to Dortmund on the previous Wednesday, so they've had 1 day's extra grace on that front. They do play Dortmund again on the Tuesday afterwards, which I think is why we're not playing on the Sunday, because apparently Manchester United have taken preference on that front. Little rude that the FA have taken favourites there, and in a very important derby for that matter. But you saw there we did deal with Newcastle 2-0, and we do have a 3-1 lead going into the Gent game. Haaland's up to 29 goals. He's turned up, irritatingly. But yes, we do have 2 games in hand on Chelsea still, and we're 2 points behind them as things stand. And I suspect there's some very tired people, but the good news is, I did anticipate this. And quite frankly, all the people that I actually want to play in this game, who did play the last game, are mostly okay. It's actually the ones that were rotation options that were the most tired, oddly enough. So the good news is we are mostly okay. The one issue is the fact that Charlie Cresswell is going to have to play because of an injury to Strike in the meantime. So he's going to have to play off the back of that game 2 days ago, annoyingly. Although, does one play Pavlovic just because he's slightly less tired? I guess we do. Sorry, Charlie. Meliengo, Ndicka, Pavlovic, Totalo, Scarvan, Livramento, Soboslai, Adams, Bamford, Milovanovic, and Pedro. I took my eye off the game because it was just a set piece. Martinez has made a meal of this, unfortunately, and Pedro just lays off for Bamford. Sorry for you not getting that one live. I wasn't expecting too much, and I don't know what happened. My brain shut down. The sooner I can fire Rene Maric, the better. I suspect any assistant manager is going to say exactly the same thing. Well, this is a thrilling Roses derby so far. That was the one highlight, and I missed it. Genuinely. I suppose 1-0 up against a Big Six team, we can probably praise them and it will go down all right. Casemiro, Adriozola. They've acquired Odriozola. Varane, Fernandez. There's Kamaka, who's actually been quite potent for them. Milovanovic, though, is on the ball now. Holds it up for Bamford. That's a great ball, actually. Varane dispossesses relatively easily, though. And I thought he was about to give it away again. De Gea, Hoofed, Pavlovic. What are you doing, Sunshine? Good. Adams. I do worry about Pavlovic as the only one who obviously can't really pass the ball. Milovanovic across to Pedro, and that's fantastic. What an assist. What a finish, too. The 50th league goal of his career for João Pedro. Adams to Milovanovic. 1 touch, 2 touch, cross. Ridiculous cross. Great header. Worth noting, Manchester United are in 3rd in this game world. Joint on points with Manchester City as things stand. Liverpool that little bit clear. Now, we have played more games than Wolves. So that 5th, there's still a bit of a barrier there to 5th, and then a much bigger barrier to 4th. So Champions League is not on the horizon this season. And it's worth saying, actually, at this stage, if we do get through the Conference League and win the Conference League and get in the Europa League that way, to the point where, we're first seed, then probably not going to focus on it all that much next year. There's not a great deal of difference between the Europa League and Conference League in terms of opponent quality. Obviously, it's a little bit more, and obviously in the sort of knockout stages, there's a little bit more as well, as this could be 3-0. It is 3-0. We've kind of got to 72 minutes without really much fuss here, as they bring on Ronaldo. But yeah, a few tired players. Gagliardini, just because I don't think he played the last one. Same with Rocker, actually. We'll bring them both on. Platt and Hart for Scarf, who's tiring. Livermento's tiring. Christensen on. We'll do that. And there's the replay for Milovanovic's goal again. Interrupted it with those changes. There's an immediate highlight, and I am concerned. Yeah, going into next season, we're definitely going to have to cull the midfielders quite dramatically. The thing about Gagliardini is he's got fantastic mentals, so he's currently in the mentoring for the defence. Bamford just passes it to Casemiro there. Not sure what happened. Wan-Bissaka on the pitch now. Skamaka's scored. Told you he was dangerous. 22 goals for the season for Skamaka. Wan-Bissaka straight across. Skamaka's ahead of his defender, which is Pavlovic. Totalo. Pavlovic's rating somehow went up there. I mean, explain that one to me. But Bamford on the ball now. That's an odd ball from Bamford. Pedro to put the ball back in again. All the way over. Bamford into the middle. Milovanovic kicks it against the defender. Is that the highlight? No. Yes. Evan Ndicka is really tired at this point. Gonna have to give the boys a late praise and hope that just sees them over the line. And it does. Lovely. We made that look easy, really. Now just the matter of finishing off Gent. It is Gent, isn't it? Back ahead of Chelsea with the game in hand still. I'm not going to weaken too much. It's a 2-goal margin and we're now at home, but I just want to see this one out. It might be a case of just taking players like Tyler Adams and Szoboszlai off relatively early, but Meslier, Strike, Pavlovic, Cresswell, Plasnart, Livramento, Szoboszlai, Adams, Bamford, Milovanovic and Sinisterra. Jean Pedro got a 5 to 6 week injury at this point of the season. No real shout-outs in Gent's team. Toronto Riga in central defence is probably the only one, but I don't know if he's there already now. Kickpeary is a name that may be recognisable to a few people. He had a bit of potential a couple of years ago, although when we had him briefly, I want to say at Tenerife, he was terrible. To Sudali, no. It might have even been in my lower league Spain save once upon a time. Nardi Toronto Riga there. Okay, 31 minutes on the clock and we've seen nothing much in the way of highlights. Cresswell gathers that ball, making a bit of a run himself. Livramento hooks it across to Dominic. Bamford, Milovanovic. Bamford with a good run. It's a good save. Marvin, of course, with the resulting corner. Pavlovic doesn't jump, which is always going to be a bit of a disadvantage there. I really don't hope that's SI's way of solving how good corners were last year. Because the problem last year with headers was the fact that the defenders didn't jump when defending. So I really hope the solution wasn't to make it so that defenders don't jump when attacking as well. Szoboszlai gets that ball somehow. Sinisterra. It's hard to see the ball a little bit, actually. We appear to be playing with a winter ball in April. Sinisterra actually goes alone there and scores. Officially now, the top scorer outside of the main 3 strikers, with 6. As the camera is inverted again, we'll watch it the other way around. Yeah, mugs that defender off, and I think it comes off the goalkeeper's head. Meanwhile, I can't actually see what the full scores are for the rest of the Conference League, but Osijek are winning 1-0. Full scores, by which I mean the aggregate. I don't know if that's a game or a skin issue, but it'd be nice to be able to see the aggregate scores there, especially as there are ... dots next to them, which probably are meant to have them in. In fact, they probably are meant to have them in. It's just for some reason the box is too small to allow them to be seen or something, I don't know. But, there's the Gent player in. No, I've made that box as big as possible. It's just not happening. But it could still be a skin issue, I don't know. Cresswell, Strike, Marvin, Tyler Adams, and I've not taken them off. We'll go Armada there as my entire bench just rearranges itself. Why are they just in a completely different order? I'd say it's alphabetical, but one of them's... I say it's alphabetical, but Talis Magno is M and Andre Santos is S. Otherwise, it actually is, I think. Maybe bring Mark Rocker on now already. We'll also bring Skov on now as well while we're at it. In fact, we probably ought to just bring Gelhart on, for instance, for Bamford. Sinisterra is tackled cleanly. Ball's back into play, Adams. That's Livramento in a bit of space, although he's wasted it. Back to Cresswell. Szoboszlai on the edge. He only scores bangers. It would have been if it had gone in. We won a corner, though. And it'll be Skov to take it straight away. Marvin obviously just came off. Skov finds no one because nobody jumps. Not a single sausage in the box jumped. Morocco slams it off Nardi. 2-0. Bamford off. Might have been Gelhart on for like 3 minutes. Well, 20 minutes, but in the context of the season, it's a pittance. Yeah, Rocker in all the space there, just slams it in. From the other angle, it did look like it ricocheted off the goalkeeper on the way in again, but goal's a goal. I mean, that's one way to score. It's just slam it against the goalkeeper's head. So one thing he's going to try and protect the most and get out of the way. Samoys, don't try it at home. Meslier takes his time and then hoofs it. There's that short kick instruction in action, folks. I mean, Freiburg have finally scored. I was about to say, just ourselves and Osijek, the only ones to sign in to score today. And I do still have the opportunity to take one more sub, so I might as well bring Tino off. Nice, simple, efficient 2-0. They didn't have a shot on target. We got an XG of 2 and scored 2 goals. Perfect. Couldn't really have asked for better there, other than an absolute demolition. So the overalls are Ferenc Rossi on penalty, so it won't be Gent then Genk. Freiburg score and win their game, but lose overall. And Osijek, that was actually important, beating them. So it will be Ferenc Rossi then. Interesting. And that moves Southampton out of the way. You know what we might do there? And no offence to Sutton, just because it's not exactly a Spurs or a Man United. We might do both legs in the same one and just all gloss over the Southampton game in between. That might be the sensible thing to do. So yeah, it's a slightly episode-filled season, this one, but I do want to sort of catalogue our entire journey through the, first stage of Europe that we've been in. Like I say, if we do get to the Europa League off the back of the Europa Conference League, then it's probably not going to feature too much in the group stages. And also, as we now move into a third season in the Premier League, it's less likely I'll bring you the opening day fixture and rather bring you back at the end of the transfer window full stop. So do expect the number of episodes to go down a little bit over the next couple of seasons, but It's the first time in Europe, you can understand it. It's the first major silverware, actually, technically, I suppose, as well. So you have to understand why I'm focusing on it. Until next time, if you've enjoyed this, first and foremost, like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal by now. But yes, until next time, ta-ra.